All right, so today we're going to introduce you guys to Manny Maez. Manny Maez, me and him worked together in high school as well as we worked together, obviously, through Utah Rotational Athlete Training. What we're going to be doing is introducing Manny to you. He's going to be an integral part of what it is we're going to be doing moving forward for the players that have been working with us. You guys are going to get acquainted to him. Everyone's going to have access to Manny that wants it and wants to reach out to him. We're bringing Manny in as our mental skills coordinator, and we want to make sure that everybody understands his background. And he brings a wealth of knowledge in the baseball side, but not just that, but from the real world aspect of things. And I want to turn it over to Manny so we can kind of touch base on what he's been through in life and how he can help everybody out.
So I'm Manny, Manny Maez. My background, basically, what I bring to the table is I retired from the Marine Corps due to medical injuries, and that's through several tours in combat in Afghanistan and Iraq. Um, I was on the special forces side of the Marine Corps. So I did a lot of elite training, different continents of the world. Also trained with different militaries. Um, Also on the federal side, law enforcement side, I was a police officer for a while. So more of my background is helping recover from those injuries. So sustained a lot of injuries in my time, from learning how to walk again to learning how to even some of my speech is bringing all that speech back and getting back into the rotation and back into my training, leading, and deploying to several different continents at a time. Um, so I just bring in that aspect of how to come back from something that happened to you, whether it was an injury, maybe a mental block there, things like that. I've done it as a child playing sports on my own, homeless at 15, different things like that. So I've always had to find a way to bring that mental side in and be mentally tough. And so I bring a lot to the table that way. And I just want to help out where I can. Just help out with anybody that needs help with whether it's getting over that hump, getting back to the shape they want to be in, or even beyond baseball and just in the real world. There's always a way to overcome any obstacle you have. It's just a plan and meeting those goals, setting goals and meeting goals.
And
So
that's the
that's
big
me.
thing I want to touch on there is in any game, right? Was is a pitcher or hitter, whatever it is, you're not going to win every single pitch, but you want to end
No,
up winning a majority of those. And that's where this experience comes in, where Manny, yes, a lot of his background is in the military, but you're going to see that not every single thing you do in the stories I've heard Manny tells, not everything on a deployment goes perfect. Obviously, right, Manny?
no,
And this is
no, not
something I can't
everything.
speak to. But
Uh-uh.
obviously, Manny's going to be aware like things don't go perfect, but how do you adjust off that, make your pivots, and make sure things go better. So just like when you're pitching in an inning, we just had a player I was talking to this morning who had two lockdown innings, was pitching great, and then the third inning gave up a couple runs, started walking a couple guys, worked his way out of it. But if he would have had Manny to run him through that mental process, he could have made that adjustment quicker and probably gotten out of that inning without any runs as opposed to walking three, giving up that bloop single, playing into what the defense did on things he can't control. So if you want to kind of touch on that, like, yes, that military background, the rehab aspect, awesome. But also, how can you help these guys out from just managing a game?
So basically, touching on what you just said, readjusting, refocusing, sometimes that has to happen split second. And you need to know your body, know yourself. And that's a lot of looking into yourself, looking into, okay, taking out of those innings that he pitched. He had two good innings there. Like he needs to hold on to those, pull that back into his mental mindset, regroup, and let's go at it again. You got to let go what just happened. Maybe you throw a pitch and he takes it over the fence, or you walk two or three batters, let that go. Refocus, whether it's a couple deep breaths, breathing exercise, and jump back into what got you to that level, what makes you a starting pitcher in that rotation, what makes you a reliever, like what has got you there that the coach wants you there. Like you need to pull that back in, see the success, and go back at it. Like you don't have a moment to just let it all go. And that's not going to help you. Like the mental health that I kind of bring to the table, the mental toughness is being able to know, hey, I've done this. I've been there. I've seen the hard times. I've seen the good times. Let me pitch the way I want to pitch every time. It's being able to grab that strength, like seeing the success before you pitch, during your pitching, and even after. Pulling that all together. And once you get that tightness to where you're like, oh, I just messed up. That's okay. Let it go. It's gone. You can't replay it. So being able to just refocus right away is something that I've always been really good at because I've never been in a great situation when I was a kid or in the Marine Corps. I was in the Marines. They throw us in the worst stuff. So if I was just sitting there looking at, oh, this is what we're in, this is what we got to do, this is what we got to eat every day, what's that going to achieve for me? Let's go get success and bring these guys home. And on the baseball side, let's go get these batters out. Let's get my batters up and let's get the runs on the board. And it's just a couple different things in your mind that you got to switch on and switch off. It's that little
So the,
switch.
the the big thing I'm hearing is process management. Is everything's
Exactly.
based on how do you manage your process to get the result you're looking for? Am I hearing that right?
That's 100% correct. Because you're the only one that can flip that switch either way. No matter what the batters are doing over here, or what the coaches are saying, or what anybody's yelling at you in the stands, you're the only one that has that switch. Whether I'm going to switch it off and follow what they're saying and believe I can't do my job, or I'm going to switch it back on and say, you guys are all wrong, and keep going with what I know my plan is. My plan is to be successful. It's to get these batters out, get the ball in play, whatever my plan is that day, switch that switch back on.
And for me, in my baseball career, how short-lived it was, but one of the biggest influential people I had was actually a former military guy who was in the Navy, was a SEAL, was my pitching coach in college. And that was the big thing is he always had that mindset. Well, yeah, you threw your pitch where you wanted to, but that batter gets a say in what happens as well. So yeah,
Hmm.
we want to be able to win those altercations, but baseball in that aspect cross over so much that I want to make sure people have that mindset. They have you as a resource they can pull from you, and that we keep building off these experiences to not just make better baseball players, but just tougher
Better
individuals that are
people.
ready for the real world. Because baseball is going to end at some point, and that's where you want to step in and really help those guys out. So before we kind of wrap this up, anything else you wanted to add in?
Well, just on that, baseball is a humbling sport. Like you can do everything perfect. And it's the only sport I've seen that you can do everything perfect and still be wrong. You can throw the ball where you want it. You can have the speed on it, the spin, everything on it. But that batter's still going to do everything perfect on his side too. So it does, or you can be the batter on the opposite side. You could be hitting, swinging, you have a perfect swing, it goes right into somebody's glove. So you still have to take that as a win sometimes, even if it's not what you want.
And I just put a video out the other day. I think this is the last thing we'll talk about on a starting pitcher over 40 outings, which you get about 38 in the big leagues, 40 for some guys. 10 of those, no matter what you do, are going to go great. 10 are going to suck. And then there's a 20 in between, which is where that process. And again, I dial
Hmm.
in, work with those guys on the throwing program, the pre-throw, the pitch development. But where everybody misses on those 20 games, they can go either way to push 10 of them towards that good side is the mental aspect. And that's why we're bringing
Hmm.
Manny on,
Yeah.
is because he's going to help those guys with that mental process. So that's all we got. If there's any questions, shoot us an email. We'll have that information in the contact, and we'll get you connected with Manny.
Sounds good. And we can build individual plans on what we're trying to succeed with here and go from there.
Awesome. Thanks, Manny.
Thank you guys.